Welcome back, everyone. I am the one and only infamous Kentucky Yankee, without a doubt, and we are carrying on with the rebuild of this 1968 520 Datsun pickup truck. First off, what do you think of the color? It is dark Ford blue engine paint, probably the oldest engine paint that Ford put out. I could not get a hold of any Datsun blue engine paint, and I'm not that particular, and I really like this color anyhow. We do have an issue with the valve cover, and if it was anyplace else I wouldn't care, but we have these little spots, see the little dots there? And that is because I think it started to sprinkle rain a little bit when I was almost done with this thing, and it put those dots in there. So I'm going to nip it a little bit like I did this spot with 400 grit and recoat. No pressure at all, just get the little bump down and then we'll move on to the next one. Still not perfect, but I'm satisfied with the way it looks now. It will be good enough for who it's for. I've got our front engine pulley ready to go here, and someone left a comment. They said to leave this loose, and then you put this in, that way it centers it better and you'll have less of leaks. So I did that. I went back and loosened them up and centered it, and now our pulley. Hopefully we can draw it the rest of the way down with this bolt. I don't think it should be that hard to pull in there. I couldn't find a spec on this bolt, so we'll see what 100 feels like. Oh yeah, I believe we'll go about 140 or 50. Here's 150. I'm gonna call that good. Why isn't the crankshaft turning? What did you do to hold it? Let me show you. This tool is made to hold a fan pulley while you release the big nut there in the center, and it just holds the bolts like that. So I put two in the crankshaft and installed this tool. Worked great. Pulley. I did get a new distributor. It's supposed to be electronic ignition so we don't have to deal with points. But this piece apparently is a sleeve maybe that comes off and will slide onto this. That's what I'm hoping. This is supposed to be the right distributor for the truck. Not sure. I gotta pull around here. Let's see what happens. Cool. Look at that. Looking good. I'm gonna clean this bracket and mess up, and we will try to install it on our new distributor and chunk it in the engine. Parts all cleaned up. We'll slip them together And now I'll slide it on a distributor. I just noticed something when I hold it at an angle, you can still see the numbers here. 10, arrow, 10. For the timing. If I can slip this part on first. That paint is what the issue is. Can't remember if I showed it or not, but there was a little bolt right there holding that plate on. Time to get the old plugs out so I can turn the engine over and get it back up on top dead center, number 1 cylinder, so that we can put the distributor in. I want a new one of these. Where do you get something like that? The help section maybe? There we are. This gear will go in first. I'll make sure I put it in so that when I install the distributor, the rotor will point towards number 1 spark plug wire. The right position for this distributor is so that this rotor is pointing towards where the number 1 spark plug wire will be coming out of the distributor cap. And this is it right here, that location on this engine. Gap needs to be at 35 thousandths. That's what I found. I don't know if everything's very accurate on the information I'm getting on this truck, but I'm sure that's close. I got these old wires laying around, so we should be able to cut them up and make them fit onto our rig. I get these wires from Napa. I think you still can. They're awesome. So you gotta kind of figure out how long you want them, and then you cut them to size. Next, we'll slip a boot on over the wire. Now cut about 1/2 inch of the shielding off. Fold her over. Grab one of these supplied in the kit. Slip it over the wire. Then we will crimp it down. I would prefer not to do this in front of you so I don't screw it up. I'll show you what it looks like after I get done. So here's our crimp. Now we'll just slide the boot up over it. This side done the same way, and there is our first wire, number 1 cylinder. I want to be clear, this style connector goes to the distributor, and this side goes to the spark plug. See how this is like out, spreads out, and it'll grab the inside of the distributor cap. This one will snap, it's got a ring around the spark plug. And I may have showed you wrong, so I'm going to clear it up so you don't get confused. Little diode electric grease here, or something kind of grease. Little anti-corrosion for our spark plug too. And then snap our wire on. Now I've got to look up the firing order. I know it's counterclockwise. It'll go next, 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 but I'm not sure which one's next. Firing order is 1, 3, 4, 2. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next one will be 3 right there. Now for the old zip tie hack here. Snug them like that. Snug, snug, snug. Snip, snip, Snip. Snip. Looks pretty good. Perhaps they'll look a little better with them rolled down. That looks nicer, doesn't it? Distributor, plugs and wires, check. Our dipstick, isn't that pretty? I know there's still a lot of engine work to do, but I feel like changing gears. Let's take a look at the front bumper on this junk and see if we can straighten it up. This bumper is in awful shape. She's all twisted up. Everywhere you look on it, it is just a mess. Holy moly, this thing can't be repaired. Or can it? I'm gonna start by taking a hands-on approach first. Well, moved a little bit. This kink right here is rough. All four came out and they didn't break. Amazing. Would have been better if I hadn't ruined the nuts, but I wanted it to be really hot so they wouldn't unscrew easy. If I hadn't have done it like that, we probably could have got them out with a socket, but they may have kept breaking off and I hate that, so either way they're out. Bolted it up and it's tilted quite a bit downward on the ends. Here's one side. With the fender still smashed up, it's a little hard to tell, but it's kicked down and I think the brackets are bent. I'm gonna take it back off, bend the brackets straight, try it again. Huge improvement. We need to do a little fine tuning, but it's looking pretty good at this point. Looking at the gap on the top, looks really good, and we still have room for adjustment. Much more difficult to judge this side because the fender is caved in. We'll hammer it out, put the bumper back on, and see what it looks like. That's going to be it, all the time I'm willing to put into this fender for now. I think the red truck has a better fender we may use instead of this one. Let's see what the bumper looks like now. Now the bumper is taking shape and seems to fit pretty good. A tricky little part with these bumpers, on the end they roll down like this a little bit. And I believe they're all like that. All the ones I've seen are like that. Looking good, now on to the next step. A front license plate is not required in Kentucky, so I'm going to weld these two holes up right here. this is where we're at with the bumper, but we have a lot more work to do to it. We have only scratched the surface. That's it, we're out of time, it's over with. Catch me next week, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.